Yeah.
Welcome back to Dicing with Death, guys, for our final part this week. So, each of the 9 prisoners has 100 pounds of ore. I have 50 pounds of ore. And after a short rest, not a 5th edition short rest, but a short rest.
Which is not required, but good role
Nope.
playing to take one.
Yep. We gather up some food and water. Well, no, this is fresh water by the river. We gather up whatever food we need. We eat our fill, drink our fill.
You're
And
not on the river. Do you trek back to it?
well, I'm sure there's water in the cave, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
only what they had brought in. There's
Right,
not. Oh, I
right.
guess there is a trickling waterfall down that ruby face. So
We
you
eat and
can drink from that. You can lick the wall until you're satisfied.
we eat and drink as needed.
Mhm.
Gather up our 100 pounds of ore and head back towards the waterfall.
Okay. So by nightfall, you and your party have reached the waterfall, unmolested.
Okay. We rebuild our fire. Is the troll body still there?
Yes, in fact, the troll body's decomposing by the fire.
Cool. We build ourselves a nice big fire.
I guess it's
mentioned the
only been a
troll as
day, so it's not decomposing really, but it's starting to stink.
yeah. I let
It
them.
started off stinking actually.
If they didn't bring any food with them, they're welcome to try and eat the troll. I don't recommend it though, but it's theirs to do.
There was food. There were foodstuffs at the cave, so they brought
Yeah.
some of that, enough for
Yeah,
themselves.
just a couple
They're
pounds
fine.
of food would be good.
All right, so you start a fire.
Start a big fire. In fact, we'll start 2 fires because if there's 9 of them, that means there's 11 of us. You can't fit 11 people around a fire. We'll build 2 big fires, fairly near each other, but far enough away that people could sit in between and whatnot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the trek through the jungle was quite dour. The men's spirits were down, still feeling like slaves, but they're starting to open up and they're joking again and laughing and
Yeah.
turning into people.
I tell them that we're all going to be taking 1-hour shifts tonight, or at least they are all going to take 1-hour watches.
Mm-hmm.
It's super fucking important that you stay awake. If you fall asleep during your watch, we might all get eaten by a troll. So stay alert, stay awake. If you hear something that's scary, wake everyone up.
Yeah, I mean these guys are from here. They know what
Yeah.
the jungle holds. They're on
Good.
board with the watches.
Cool. Then we make camp and go to sleep by the warm fire.
Yeah. As you're dozing off to sleep, you hear a loud.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. We ended with the secret passage.
Oh fuck.
Let's retcon.
We're both space cadets.
Super
Our
space
bad
cadets.
is chat like what the fuck.
Yes, they're rioting about the secret passage.
Yeah. So alternate reality. We'll never know what that roar was. It was
Nope.
a tiger. It was a tiger roar.
Okay.
You're back at. Okay, so it's still mid-afternoon. You are in this stone pit, maybe 100 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
And you've on the southern wall. You've cut away some roots and revealed this stone passage. Do you
Okay.
beckon Michelle over?
No. I leave her to keep an eye on the men, and I enter alone. I take it this passage is like a hallway, right? There's not wide enough for 2 people to stand side by side.
It not in. It's like 5 or 6 feet wide, so you could
Okay.
stand side by side, but you couldn't fight side by side.
Right. Okay. I will move silently down the hallway.
Yeah. What's your move silently?
I believe it is 95. 95.
Nice. All right. So you tiptoe down this hallway.
Weapons drawn.
Weapons drawn.
Elf vision on.
All right. The floors and walls are all made of carved gray stone, with intricate carvings of various jungle creatures and also scenes of carnage, like men slaying other men, gnolls slitting people's throats. It's yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So you tiptoe down this hallway for a couple hundred feet, and you eventually come to a split left and right.
I go right.
Bum, bum, bum. Now the tiger will just jump out of the shadows in the next room. Tiger dungeon. Tiger dungeon.
Yes. I've always wanted to kill Tigger.
Yeah. Okay. So you walk down the hall maybe 30 feet, and then 60 feet in front of you with your infravision, you see a doorway. There's no door in it. It's just a stone shape of a door.
Okay.
Set slightly from the width of the hall.
Continue moving silently to it, and look, peer in, poke my head in, see what's going on.
Yeah. So you step into the room, and you see that the walls are lined with cubbies. So like shelving into the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And each one has like a stone slat just resting in it. So there's like a lip and just like a stone tile covering each of these rows and rows of cubbies.
Wait, I don't understand that in the slightest.
So shelving along the walls, but the shelves is basically covered with a stone tablet.
Oh, so like cubbies that you would then remove a tablet to access.
Yeah, so it's like a
like
a stone tablet you'd pick up. A bus locker?
Yeah, a situation where you have like a whole bunch of like cubbies or lockers all scattered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And carved onto each of these stone tablets are more hieroglyphics.
I poke around through a few cubbies, not all of them, but 4 or 5, looking for something.
You open the first one, and you get a waft of musty air, and you see 2 human feet.
I replace the cover. Well, Halls of Dead. Then I take the cover back off and yank the feet out and like fully remove the corpse from the sarcophagus.
All right, you pull the corpse out bone by bone. Are you looking for valuables?
Oh yeah. How many cubbies are there?
Dozens and dozens. This one has no valuables. It looks like it was buried or put here in clothes or something like that, but it's decayed. It's just a skeleton at this point.
Is there any other exit from this room?
You can go forward or you can go back to the fork.
I'll go forward.
Okay.
I'll come back.
You walk past a few more rows of cubbies, and then the hallway ends and then curves to the left.
All right, I keep going.
Qualnir just can't pass up a dungeon, can he?
No way, man.
Yeah. Okay. So the hallway just wraps around to the left, and there's more of these cubbies, more of these sarcophagi.
Fuck. I keep going around.
You're guessing there must just be hundreds of bodies under here.
I keep going.
So it loops and circles back all the way around to the other entrance.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You notice no other passages.
Hundreds of bodies. Do I want to spend the rest of the day in the mines pulling bodies out of... Do I really want to rob these? I do. I go back to where Michelle is.
Mm-hmm.
And I inform her that just here for the rest of the day. We'll leave in the morning. I would ask her if she has a way of contacting anyone sent her on, but she doesn't. Yeah, and I will have her I will take a torch and go back into these areas by myself, and she can play some music and entertain the men and get their spirits up and get them fed and rested and
So
relaxed.
you
And
instead are making camp outside of the cave.
yeah,
So you said in front of the cave.
in front of the cave.
Okay.
In the
All right.
cave, really, actually. It'd be feels safer to make it in the cave.
In the entrance, like within the cave entrance. It's a pretty narrow passageway.
The only chamber in the cave that actually has any open air access would be the very front entrance and the spider entrance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll just make the camp right out front of the cave, and people can come in the cave for if they need shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And then Qualnir will take his torch and tells Michelle he'll be back in a couple of hours. Okay. And we'll go and just start. He will pull everybody out of the tomb, just throw it in the hallway.
So the sun is starting to set. So you double back. You have them set up camp. You answer a few of the slaves' questions and get them started, and then you return. And you can't seem to locate the passage that you had found before.
What? I patrol the entire perimeter.
Yeah. I mean, so you spend a minute or two, and you find where you chopped away the vines, and you see before you a pictograph of a. It looks like a man, but he's got the head of a tiger, flexing and roaring or whatever. But it's just the stone pictograph. There's not the doorway, but the vines.
Push on it. I kick everything. I touch everything.
I touch everything.
Nothing?
A kick does not do anything. You can roll a strength check if you'd like.
Yeah, I want to make a strength check.
See how strong you kick it.
29 is how strong I kick it.
You're pretty sure that if brute force would open this, that you would have done it.
What the hell? I go back for Michelle.
Okay.
Her last spell for the day is Detect Magic. She comes over and casts Detect Magic on the area.
Yeah. So the whole pit is just oozing with magic.
What the fuck?
What sorts of spheres and stuff does she get, or what information does she gain?
Let's see. When Detect Magic is cast, this wizard detects magic radiations in a 10-foot wide and up to 30 feet long in the direction he's facing. The intensity of magic can be determined and the wizard has a 10% chance per level to recognize if a certain type of magic is present. The caster can turn, scanning 60-degree arc per round.
So it doesn't feel like it's one unified source. She's just sort of, the whole pit seems to be like littered with these little necromantic auras that are seen swirling around within the pit.
What does it mean, Michelle? The necromantic auras.
So for you to interpret. She does also notice that the bauble that you took off of the troll is magical as well. Is there a chance to get the aura, or is it just tells you straight? You automatically know the type of magic.
10% per level.
Oh,
that you can recognize a certain type of magic is present.
Okay, so there are enough swirling necromantic auras that she eventually got the picture there, and she noticed that the bauble is enchanted with divination magic.
Divination magic? How interesting.
But probably more interesting is the pit to her right now. That was just sort of what popped up on the radar.
Lots of necromancy magic. What about that area behind the chopped roots? What does that have?
She can detect that the stones are indeed magical. She can't get a hone on the type of magic. Strength is kind of confusing. to describe here. I mean, she's not like worried for safety strong. I mean, it's strong. I mean, it's a permanent enchantment. It's got to be reasonably strong, right? Some
Right.
very powerful force created this stuff. But it's not like oh shit, fireballs spewing out of the walls strong.
Right.
So most of the stones aren't magical, but you point out the where you would cut through the roots, and she walks over and detects magic on that.
Let's see. Magical areas, multiple types of magic, or strong local magic emanations may confuse or conceal weaker radiations.
Yeah. So that's basically that's basically what she's dealing with right now. The whole area is just swirling with necromantic energies.
There was a passage right here. How do we get through? I want to go back in. Well, Michelle, we'll just have to come back and deal with this another time. I don't like the way that this place is, and I honestly don't think we should be messing with this without further research. When we get back to Solstice, you can maybe do some research on this, see what people know. Maybe it might be worth stopping by Yavis, asking them. They seem to know a great deal about what used to be in this area. All right, let's pack up and head out if we can still make it to the falls, because it's probably only been like 5 to 6 minutes that we've spent on this.
Yeah, the sun has just gone down though, but you can still trudge through the falls if you'd like.
Okay. Why is the sun down already? Didn't we wake up at the falls and come here and then go back?
Yeah, so you woke up at the falls, you trekked a few hours, you did battle.
We did sleep in late because our night was rested.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it was. So you slept in late. It was a few-hour walk. I guess you didn't do yeah.
Okay, if the sun's down, we're not going to go back to the falls. We'll wait till tomorrow.
It's afternoon, fine.
Okay.
It was eerier if it was at night, but
okay.
It can still be afternoon.
Sure. Then we grab our shit and go to the falls as we did at the opening of this part of this episode.
So much backseat gaming going on in chat.
Oh, is chat telling you? Oh, God.
Telling you.
Oh, I don't ever read chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you make the journey back to the falls. Back to that little vignette. A tiger's roar echoes through the jungle.
Qualnir jumps to his feet and starts to grabs his short sword and dagger and looks about. Seeing no immediate danger.
This does make that flashback to the carvings in the stone a little more ominous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't even put that together myself. Those are the best D&D stories.
If I don't see anyone immediately, okay, I mean, he drops to the ground and starts putting on armor.
Okay, yeah. One of the men points out that it could be very far off. These roars carry, and for the most part, the tigers stick to the other side of the river.
Well, we have to cross the river tomorrow, so...
You don't?
Don't?
Oh.
I mean, according to this map, there's like 3 main strands of river, and we want to be on the middle one.
The other side of the big river. So
okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Does that make sense?
That
side of the river.
Yeah. There we go. Cool. Well then, Qualnir sleeps in his armor for the rest of the night, even if it is chainmail.
Yeah, it's elven chainmail. You can sleep. You can sleep in it just fine. All right, so each of the slaves takes a 1-hour watch. You and Michelle rest up.
Okay.
There are no troll ambushes in the night.
Excellent.
The following morning, you wake at the crack of dawn. well rested to the sounds of tropical birds. Caw, 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 and the sun rising in the east, pointing the way to Centauron.
Sorry. You know what? I've been misusing Michelle's spells. Oh no, she's not a wizard. I haven't been misusing her spells at all. She's a bard. Bards have a very different gear. Yeah, 3 and 1. Okay, cool. Alright, well, we cross the little river as best as possible, and then proceed to walk down the big river that goes down the middle, sticking as close to the shore as possible, so like I don't want to ever lose sight of the river. Let me know if we get into a situation where I have to lose sight of the river, and I will find a way to avoid it.
Okay, so it takes a while to get you've got a fuck ton of... How are you getting all the rubies across the river? They were set to carry the... Like, they've got boxes to carry them in.
Yeah, then they just carry them across the river. Right?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, if I've got a box, I can, like... Yeah. It's still gonna... It'll be difficult to push through the water, but unless the current is super strong, it's not gonna rip it out of my hands.
No, this is one of the smaller branches. You do lose 2 boxes of rubies crossing the river.
Oh shit!
2 bags.
Can I swim?
You do have a swimming proficiency.
How deep is the river?
You're wading across it, so it's...
Oh, okay. So if the bags are lost, then swimming will help.
I mean, you're only like you're leading the pack. You have to swim actually. Yeah. I'm trying to think how they're even. So they're just like it's a clusterfuck back there.
Okay. Well,
most of them haven't lost it, but they're wading as far as they can wade. You're swimming out ahead, and you realize it's deeper, and two of the guys have dropped their shit.
Okay, then we get everyone back on the shore. And I will go back and try and find the shit that they dropped. I do have a swimming proficiency.
How long do you wish to spend doing this?
Like 10 minutes trying to find their shit.
Okay, you managed to recover most of it. Subtract 20 pounds from there. Okay. Did you include the 900 pounds that they had?
No, but I will write down 950 minus 20, so 930 pounds.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So they lost close to 100 between the two guys. You recovered a majority of that.
Okay.
But you're seeing that this river is not going to be fordable.
All right, guys.
At least not with all of this stuff.
We can't cross the river like this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to stay here, and we're going to stay at camp at this waterfall. And we're going to wait for the next boat to come by. And whether it goes to Yavis or Centauron, we will tell them to come back here with 3 ships to carry all of us safely to Centauron. And we will pay them well for their troubles. But we're going to stay here by the falls because I don't want to walk through this jungle, and I don't want to cross this river. But we'll wait. Hopefully, it's not more than 2 days. If it is, then we will have to come up with a plan B.
Right.
Okay. Then I asked any of the slaves if the gnolls had any rope in the mines, or was it just their shackles that they had?
There was rope in the supplies that you'd left behind.
Okay.
Do you go to fetch rope?
No.
Right.
I just want to know that it's available.
So how long will you wait?
2 days. 2 day-night cycles.
Oh, yeah.
I will send... I will send 2 men back into the mines to bring out more food for everyone else. And I tell them that if they feel like grabbing some gnoll weapons on the way home, they are free to, but, you know, whatever, who cares? I don't give a shit about the weapons. If the weapons make them feel more comfortable, they can grab some, but bring food for people.
How many did you send?
I sent 2 together.
Okay. All right, so those two head off into the jungle to resupply. Um, by around midday, the men have not returned, but you see a boat being loaded onto the top of the falls, lowered down.
Excellent. I sit patiently and wait.
All right, within half an hour, some men have climbed down the ladders and stairways and whatnot to the base, and they walk on over.
Oh, good to see you.
Greetings. What are you doing camped out here on the river?
We've come from an expedition inland, and would very much like to get home, but we have all these crates we are hauling with us, and it is very difficult.
Did you try to disguise them in any way, or are they just...
I was just hoping the crates would be closed and didn't just have ruby ores poking out everywhere.
There are some that are open top. I mean, you just didn't have lids for all the boxes or something like that.
If there's any that are open top, then during that half hour when I see them, I will make sure those are on the bottom, and we'll stack other crates on top of them.
Okay.
Make it like a nice, neat little pile.
Did you shipwreck?
Inland expedition. We've had some problems. Do you think you could be a pal, and when you get to Cinteron, send up 3 boats to come and get us? You tell the people there we have good money, and I flip him a gold coin for your troubles and to prove that we have the money to pay for the boats.
He catches the gold coin. I'll put the word out.
I mean, hey,
Sure. Yeah.
If it's worth your trouble, you could just come back with 2 other boats, and I'll pay you everything I'd pay them. Just need to get our shit down to Cinteron as soon as possible. It's good money.
He looks
Easy
over
journey.
your cargo. He says, "Sure, I can be back day after tomorrow."
I'll see you day after tomorrow.
With 2 boats.
2 total or 3 total? Do you think
3
you can carry this plus 2 other men who are off in the jungle still?
Yeah, he could do that in 2 boats.
Sweet. I will see you in a day and a half.
And he asks for money. Trying to remember. He says it will be 20 gold to move all this cargo.
I already gave you 1. How about I give you another 1? And if you show up with the boats, you can get the rest. But I've been burned before.
Very well.
Cool.
See you in a day and a half.
All right, and I will wait another hour. And if how long is the walk between the falls and the ruby mine?
It was like 3 hours, and it's pretty easy to get turned around in the jungle. So you wouldn't be surprised if it took a little longer.
Okay, cool. Then I will wait until
it's been about that long. I mean, so you're not going to expect them for another few hours.
Okay, cool. Then I will just keep waiting. If they aren't back by the end of the day, let me know.
They actually are not back by the end of the day. You've seen several more boats pass, if that is of any consequence.
It is not.
Okay. So the sun starts to set, and they are still not back yet. Sun's sinking behind the blood spires in the west.
I asked the remaining men if they knew who those guys were. Were you friends? Did you know them personally?
When you're chained to a man, you get to know him quite well. One of them says, Johann was from my village.
Do you think they ran, or do you think they encountered some trouble?
He shrugs.
Fuck. Alright. Michelle, keep an eye on the men. I'm going alone. I grab my backpack, empty it of ore, sling it over my shoulder, and run off into the jungle back towards the mines. Even at night, I can do this.
Okay. All right. You do not. I mean, you have a few spooks on the way, but nothing actually encounter. You don't encounter anything. I mean, you hear noises and draw your swords, and it doesn't turn out to be anything. And
Okay.
several hours later, you find yourself at the mine.
I go in and head towards the supplies. I keep an eye out for human bodies.
Yeah. So you pass by the bodies of several gnolls.
I look to see if they still
Actually,
have
you
weapons on them.
actually
Hmm.
hold on a second. So the gnoll there, where the gnoll corpses were, there are still all of their equipment, but something has gotten to the bodies.
Okay.
The flesh has been like picked clean from the bones.
Are
So
the
they've been
weapons still there?
the weapons are still there. They've been
Okay.
the armor has been torn aside, and it's basically just like a pile of bones and equipment.
That's disgusting. I make it back as far back to the supply area of the cave as possible.
Yeah. So every knoll that you pass has been treated in the same way. And you get to the supply area. It's hard to, I mean, the room was splattered with blood from your fight to
Hmm.
begin with. Actually, it wasn't that bloody of a fight, but roll a perception check.
Hmm. 11.
Okay. All right. So there's, well, yeah, there is blood and bones in this room as well, and you didn't actually leave any gnoll corpses this deep in the cave. So,
I go over
anyways,
to the.
there's so, yeah,
I
your
eye the
perception.
bodies carefully and load up my pack with food. Not a lot. I will take. How much do I have on me? I will take 10 pounds of food, 15 pounds of food. That will just leave me at lightly encumbered. And then I will head back to the waterfall tonight.
All right, you head back to the waterfall.
Yeah, quickly.
Okay. So you step out of the cave
Hmm.
and step into the jungle and return home or return back to the waterfall. Um, about 20, 30 minutes in, you hear a voice, a soft feminine voice saying, "What are you?"
I
Sound of,
stop
yeah.
and start to lower my backpack to the ground.
Is your backpack still have rocks and stuff in it, or is it
No,
just
no, it's just the food and my other normal gear. I left the rocks at the water.
yeah? It sounded like it was right behind you, but you quickly turned and you didn't see the obvious source.
I am an elf.
You are much more than that. You are a hunter.
I like to think
Me.
so. Who are you? Show yourself.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
Did
But
you
I've
eat
been
my men?
They were delicious.
I'm glad you got some enjoyment out of them. What are you?
I I am a woman.
I switch to Elven, and in Elven I say, "So, woman, where are you from?"
It sounds like the voice is coming from like maybe 30 feet off.
Hmm.
I love that number, 30 feet. I keep using it for all of my random numbers.
It's a good one.
Um, I don't think. What did you say in Elven? It was
Where are you from?
I do not understand your silvery tongue,
I switch
but
back to common.
but I find it quite arousing. Sorry, that was my Knoll laugh.
Yeah.
She laughs like her voice is seductive, but her laugh is kind of crackly.
Well, as much as I would love to stay and chat, I have business to attend to.
I'm aware. You are quite entertaining.
I'm glad to be of service.
I will be watching.
I just grab my backpack and put it on my back and start walking, which becomes a quick walk, which becomes a jog, very fat. Like, it's walk, step, step, okay, let's just go. And I trudge back to the falls.
Mm-hmm. That's that.
Okay.
You make it back to the falls. You come sprinting out of the jungle. He's greeted by the lovely sight of campfire and your men laughing and
I drop my bag to the
Michelle
ground.
entertaining them with song.
I drop my bag to the ground near them. So there's food. The others were eaten by a beast. I found their remains in the cave.
They are saddened, but not necessarily surprised.
Yeah.
The jungle is a dangerous place.
There should be 7 of them now, so Michelle and I will take watches tonight. So that way everyone gets a 1-hour watch and 8 hours of sleep.
Sounds good. Does Qualnir tell Michelle anything about what transpired in the jungle?
No.
All right.
Some secrets are better kept to yourself.
Okay. No one is roused in the night. The following morning comes.
We wait.
You wait through the day. Every couple of hours, a ship passes by on the river.
We wait for our small fleet to show up.
Yeah. About midday, you see a couple of lizard men swimming down the river. They emerge from the jungle near the waterfall and swim away, not paying you any heed.
We ignore the crocodile men.
And night comes again.
Day
You
and
set
a
up
half.
watch schedule, right? Oh no!
Yeah, he shouldn't show up until tomorrow. Then.
Yeah, you're expecting him tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same watch schedule.
Yeah, same watch schedule.
All right, you're good. Everyone wakes up the next morning.
Okay.
And several hours later, your 2 ships show up.
Great.
You load them with ruby ore.
Yes, I
Crates
do
of
my
ruby ore.
best to keep the boxes that are open-topped covered. You know.
Yeah. Roll pickpockets.
Oh,
Sleight
God.
of hand.
Can't you just make it a dex check or a charisma check for distraction?
Sure, go for a dex check.
Okay. Woo! 22.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to throw a tarp over one quickly before anyone notices the
I just
shining
dropped my cloak
gemstone.
over it or something.
The boxes are split between the 2 ships, though, so you're only going to be on one of them.
I put Michelle on the other one.
Okay.
And then I take, X-Men with me and Y-Men with her, and
Yeah. All right. And you make the journey back to Sintaron uneventfully. You arrive in Sintaron after dark, several hours after dark.
okay. I say to the men, we're going to need to haul this stuff to a house for tonight, a place to sleep. You're welcome to come with us. I can provide you lodging for tonight. And if you help us carry these things onto a ship tomorrow, I will give you each a gold. I will give you each 2 gold. If you'd like to come with us to Solstice, we have room for 1 person. If you'd like to We need a cook for our house. If one of you would like to give up the life of a slave and come live as our cook / cleaner, basically our servant, we have a position open. If you'd like to go free, that is your choice as well.
Sure, there's some bickering, but eventually you decide on one of them to be it seemed like most of them probably want to escape to Solstice. But one of them, a man named Imbop,
Imbop.
a slender, dark-skinned man with a thin mustache and an easy smile. Despite his hard life, still keeping a positive attitude. Way to go, Imbop.
Just making a note. You said he has a mustache?
You can write that down.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, he has a
That's
thin
so
mustache.
going to come in fortune. Thin mustache.
Yes.
There we go. Cool. So then I send Michelle ahead to go book us a couple of cabins somewhere, have her come back and have all the men load all of our stuff into one cabin, let the men sleep in the other cabin.
Where do you and Michelle sleep?
In our cabin with all the shit.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
2 cabins.
Yeah.
2 cabins, 7 silver.
Okay. Give him
Passage the next day. You're just bringing one guy back to Solstice, right?
Right. We're bringing one guy and all of our boxes.
Okay. You probably have the guy sleep with the cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could even work on the ship. But so for you and Michelle is 10 gold. So it'll be 20. So you owe 18 gold to the guys that brought you down from upriver.
Okay, I give it to him.
And then it will be 25 to get you, Michelle, your friend, and your cargo across the sea.
Okay, I give him 3 platinum. I hope he can make change.
Sure, yeah. The merchant ship.
Okay, so that brings my gold back up to 7. And 117 platinum. Excellent. Then we take a ship back to Solstice.
Yeah. Familiar journey across the sea, and let's see, leave the following morning. Yeah. 3 days later at dawn you pull into Solstice. A little more worse for the wear, but quite a bit richer.
Okay, I spent 2 days sleeping out there and 2 days on the ship and 1 day there, so that's a 6 HP regained for Michelle and I.
That sounds right.
Okay, but Michelle hasn't taken any damage, so she's still chill. Okay.
And so you unload the rubies. Where do you take them? I assume you're going to have to...
Yeah. We need to take them to the
included in that
Traveler's
25,
Oasis.
you can say as a tip for some sailors to help you move this cargo.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to take it back to the Traveler's Oasis until it is time.
Okay, your room is just like packed with these boxes now.
Okay.
At the Traveler's Oasis.
Yeah.
I mean, you can manage it, but it's kind of absurd.
That's great. We need a separate room for Imbop. He can have a common room. Michelle and I will have like a slightly nicer room as we've been having.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we're gonna.
Seems like a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the future so that way you know what to plan.
Yeah.
A nice thing to always do for your DM is to tell them what you want to do next session, guys.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I want to seek out the gnome if I can find him. I want to find that gem cutter in town, talk to him about refining these into proper gems, what tools he'd need.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we've been gone for 3
That's what I was
days there,
trying to figure
3
out.
days back.
3 in the middle. It's been just over 2 weeks total, I think.
Yeah.
Plus,
Okay.
did you accounted for the time that you had put in doing research for your house, right?
Um,
Trying to.
you're
We're just
including
sort
those
of
10 days that we waited beforehand as well. In that 2
yeah.
weeks, yeah.
So I think you're something like 3 weeks in.
I think out of a, what is it, a month process or a month and a half?
It was longer. It was like 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not going to go exactly, but I mean, I guess it was just a
Sure,
yeah.
but so we're about halfway done with the process then.
Yes,
Maybe a little
that
less.
sounds about right. That's what you would guess. You don't know if everything has gone according to planned, but
Okay. Then I think, yeah, next time I want to figure out gem stuff, house stuff, and I don't know what sort of adventuring I have planned. I
you're going to have more time to kill. I mean, weeks to kill before your house is done. So
right.
yeah, I mean, you didn't have to.
Yeah. Well, I've got no further explicit plans, but that's what I want to do next time.
You mean you're not eager to head right back to the jungle?
I kind of do want to go back to Yavis and ask about that woman and that voice and that crypt. But I kind of want...
To not die?
No, what's his name? Mbop to be settled properly. The last time we took on an extra NPC, she ended up being useless, and I had to kill her and dump her body in the ocean.
She made you do it.
She made me kill her. She was useless. Yeah.
You've also got Bates living in the city somewhere.
Got Bates living in the city. I can put Bates and Mbop together, and they can chill and hang out.
They can be roomies.
They can be buddies. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I got for you. Cool. Done.
Experience.
Yes, all the experience.
All the experience. I'm not going to give you experience for all the rubies.
That makes sense.
They're one because they're raw materials, and two because that's just getting way too much. What am I? I'm looking at the wrong book. So let's see. First, you fought a troll. That would be 650 experience.
Nice.
If that sounds wrong, maybe you're onto something. And Knowles, you all right. So 35 times 12 Knowles, 420. Plus 120 for Jakob is 540. Mm-hmm. So 540 plus the 650.
Mm-hmm.
That was all the combat, wasn't it? Am I missing something?
Yeah, I think it was more than 5 gnolls. We killed 2 in the jungle, 2 in the cave, 1 escaped, and then we battled 5 in
It was
Jakob.
12 gnolls.
Okay.
And you didn't even kill all of them.
No.
Yeah, it was 12 gnolls total.
They were defeated.
Plus Jakob. Yeah, you got experience for 12
Okay,
gnolls
cool.
and
Cool,
Jakob.
cool.
Maybe I will give you some experience for loot. Then, what's that? Do 2,500 for the rubies and yeah.
Okay.
Resolving that whole quest line because that's been dangling for a few weeks now. Yes. You were very patient.
And split this between Michelle and I.
The troll loot. I'm not. Yeah, that's fine. 2,500 is chill. 2,500 just for Qualnir.
Okay, so the 1190 gets split between the two of them.
Yeah.
All right, that's 595 each, which is not a lot. No.
You need to kill more sirens.
You're telling me. 595 brings her to 16. Oh my god, what have I done? Yeah.
Michelle's really close, isn't she?
She's 3,500 away.
Okay, never mind. Is Qualnir close? I thought someone was like 1,000 XP from level.
No, Qualnir's like 20,000 away.
Wow.
Yeah, no one's anywhere near anything. Okay. And then the plus 2,500 for Quolnir times 10%. Plus his existing experience 59036 brings Quolnir to 62,440.
Did you include 10% bonus?
I did.
Okay.
62,440, and he needs 70,000 to level. So he actually needs. He's only 7,600 away. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah. One big boss fight could do it.
Yes. Troll bauble necklace. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I do want to make a quick note. What do we call it? Appraise ruby and rubies. Rubies and bauble. Cool. Notes made. Any last words you have, Ryan?
Don't think so. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We will
usual no shout outs.
No shout outs. We got Roleplay Solemn tomorrow, and then on Sunday we have Honor Bound, and then sometime next week we have Dicing with Death, which we'll figure out sometime in the next few days.
Yeah. Mostly for everyone's benefit. Yeah. As in I'm flexible, so we can do whatever weeknight is not another show.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we're gonna do. So that's that, guys. Take care, everyone. See you around. Bye-bye.